Duncan News Team. This is Channel 12 News with Gene Cox, Sabrina Squire, meteorologist Jim Duncan, and Ben Hamlin with sports.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Sabrina Squire.
And I'm Gene Cox. And yes, Virginia, there will be a state lottery. The long-awaited referendum on a state lottery came to a vote today, and all the votes have not been counted. But at the last report, 91% of the vote had been, and the proponents of a lottery were leading by 57 to 43% vote.
Okay, good margin. Channel 12's Jim Babb is standing by live at Pro Lottery headquarters. And Jim, it looks like there are a lot of happy people there with you.
I guess you could say that, yeah. It's a very happy crowd here right now, Sabrina. I don't think anybody really expected the scope of the victory enjoyed by the Pro Lottery forces. Everyone was predicting this would be a very tight race today, but the lottery people turned out the people they needed to, the people in Hampton Roads and in the Richmond metro area, where they carried the city and also the two surrounding counties, and up in Northern Virginia by a wide area. But they didn't lose the rural area of Virginia by as much as they might have. So yes, this is a happy crowd here tonight. At Pro Lottery headquarters, the celebration got underway as the vote totals came in. Virginians had approved a legalized state numbers game that proponents said would give hope to the little guy and pour millions of dollars into state coffers.
He has been putting too much money in TV.
Lottery opponents were a solemn bunch at the Richmond Baptist building. Despite a 2-to-1 edge in campaign spending, they admitted,
well, we lost.
Bob Weed was political director for Virginians Against State-Sponsored Gambling. And does this say anything about how much Virginians do or do not listen to their ministers?
I hope not, because it may say something about how many of them are not around to listen to them, but I hope it doesn't say anything about those that are there and in church.
Now, a few months ago, the state Senate budget staff people looked at when Virginia could institute actually a state lottery if it were approved today. And so by next May, you may start to see some of the rub-off lottery, the instant lottery. Later on, you should expect to see the online games, the daily Pick 3 or Pick 4, and the weekly lotteries. With me is Winchester businessman Richard Dickie Dick, who was one of the co-chairs of the Virginians for Lottery group. You must be a pretty happy man right now.
Real happy, very happy.
What do you think this is going to do for Virginia?
Well, I think it's going to put $200 million in the coffers right away. I think it's going to be a real great day for us.
Some of the opponents were worried that it would decrease the morals of Virginia. I take it you don't buy that.
No way. No. I think we're, the people really spoke out, and I think there's no way that we're going to be in great shape.
Why do you think Virginians were so eager to have a lottery?
Well, I think seeing the money go next door to our neighbors in Maryland, West Virginia district, and I think they wanted to keep the money at home and do the good things that it can do there.
Okay, thanks very much, and I'm sure we'll be hearing a lot more from you later on. Gene and Sabrina.
All right,
okay.
Thanks, Jim.
Virginia is the 29th state to approve a lottery. Thank you, Jim.
And to other victories, Senator Russell was the first member of the Republican Party tonight to formally declare himself a winner, and Channel 12's Christy Eagleton was there for the victory statement.
It was 9:15 when Senator Robert Russell declared victory and thanked the voters of Chesterfield for their support. His announcement came 10 minutes after challenger Joan Jerome called Russell to offer her congratulations, a gracious ending to a race that had been tough, bitter, and long.
You get tired of reading about yourself being such a bad guy in the press and on TV. That's behind now. Let's go to work for the county and for the state of Virginia.
There was enthusiasm here at the Jerome gathering early on. Then the numbers gave her a small lead. But by the time Jerome arrived to celebrate, the tally had taken a drastic turn. Jerome doesn't blame voter turnout. In fact, that was far better than she expected. Do you think you could have done something else to draw larger numbers?
No, I think that people, by and large, voted the Republican ticket. And because Russell had the Republican nomination, that went along with it.
But I'll tell you, being a Republican incumbent in Chesterfield County is a strong spot to be in. It really is.
In Richmond, Christy Eagleton, Channel 12 News.
All right, thank you very much, Chris. You're looking at the figures right now on the board in Henrico County. A major upset for Democrats in Henrico, a skin-and-teeth fight for Virginia's 12th district seat. And as you can see, Eddy Dalton ousted 24-year incumbent Republican or incumbent William Parkinson, Democrat.
The defeat was slight, Gene, but significant for the Republican Party. Diane Walker is standing by live at the Richmond Marriott Hotel at the Republican Victory Party. And Diane, to what do they attribute this success tonight?
Sabrina and Jean, we'll find out just right here in a moment. I'm here with Senator Dalton here at the Richmond Marriott. Now, you can call this a neck-and-neck defeat, a close call, but it all adds up to one thing here. The Republicans are celebrating here at the Richmond Marriott. As one GOP member said, at a time when the Republican nomination was being questioned, they say there was a big turnaround, and big money and the big Dalton name brought in a newcomer, new Senator-elect Eddy Dalton. She's here with us tonight, and Senator-elect Eddy Dalton defeated 24-year incumbent William Parkinson by more than, or less than, I should say, 1,000 votes. Senator Dalton, what do you attribute your win to? What gave you the edge?
It was a team effort. All of Henrico County, all of the Republican Party pulled together. It was a team effort. It was not my win. It was their win. The party pulled together.
This was certainly an historic win here, victory here for the Republican Party. What does this mean for the GOP party?
What it means for me immediately is to get to work to do the job that I promised to do on education and crime and drugs, the things that the people told me when I walked door to door, and that'll be my first priority. What it means for the future, for the people of Henrico County, I'm going to do the very best I can to represent them. I want to say one word about Bill Parkinson. He's a great senator, and I just think he's a fine Virginia gentleman. He and his wife are just good friends, and I look forward to working with them in the future.
You see this as a key to rebuilding the Republican stronghold?
You bet I do. I sure do. I did this for John, and I did it for a lot of reasons, to build a two-party system.
According to the numbers, you made a fantastic showing here in the polls tonight. What about rumors or the concern that you may be posturing for the lieutenant governorship in 1989?
I'm going to serve people of Henrico as their state senator, and I look forward to that job.
Thanks a lot, and congratulations.
Thank you so much. Joy to be with you.
Thank you. So, Gina, Sabrina, there you have Virginia's new Senate-elect Governor Eddy Dalton. We understand that 24-year incumbent Bill Parkinson conceded about 2.5 hours after the polls closed. He had this to say.
I would consider my campaign really quite successful. We conducted a campaign of which I'm quite proud. I'm proud of my people. I think they're proud of me. We did our very best, and we accept the decision.
Now, Republicans view this as a key, as Senator-elect Dalton said, to rebuilding the GOP. They are still vastly outnumbered, however. There are 31 to 10 Democrats in the Senate, and we understand 66 to 33 in the House. Gina, Sabrina.
Thank you very much, Diane. And it was interesting to hear Eddy Dalton call Senator Parkinson a great senator. I didn't hear that during the campaign, but that's the way it goes. I want to turn briefly to Larry Sabato, who's been watching the figures with us, and congratulate him for calling this lottery thing before the wires ever got around to it, but we knew you would. You're having a lot of fun tonight, seeing anything that surprises you?
Well, I think this race in particular is very important. The Dalton win gives the Republicans some newfound momentum just when they needed it, and even though she plans to serve in the Senate for 4 years, she may find herself drafted onto the Republican statewide ticket in 1989.
Okay, thank you very much, Larry. We'll be talking with Larry again in just a few moments.
Well, there are some other Senate contests in Virginia tonight, and we're going to look at those other districts. In the first district now, incumbent Democrat Hunter Andrews in his first challenge in his 24-year career of victor tonight. Also now in the 10th district, incumbent Joe Benedetti returns to the Senate from Richmond.
All right, in the 24th district, over in Augusta County now, we have a winner, Nolan over Hopeman. And let's go to the 28th district, which is not there, or coming up. There we go. Chichester, Republican, easily goes back in with most of the vote counted. There were no surprises in the two House of Delegates races in Southside Virginia. The incumbents won easily over their challengers.
Southside reporter Woody Coates has been following those races, and he's standing by now with a live report. Hello, Woody.
Good evening, Sabrina. As you know, Hardaway Marks has held his district seat for 25 years, and although his opponent Curtis Butterworth gave him a good run today, Marks won tonight by a fairly wide margin. The cheers began at Marks' headquarters tonight as the victor arrived. Hardaway Marks beat his opponent, Curtis Butterworth, by nearly 2,000 votes, 8,003 to 5,931 votes at last count. Marks carried the city of Hopewell as expected. Butterworth's strongest showing was in parts of Prince George County. The celebration was a little more subdued at the offices of 64th District incumbent Jay DeBoer. DeBoer's seat had been challenged by his former legislative aide, Barbara Schell. A closer race here with DeBoer the victor, 4,999 votes to Schell's 3,760.
I suppose analysis of this race would have to be done in about a week or 2 weeks, but I ran a campaign based on the issues and my performance, and I think the voters responded to that. Of course, we had a great turnout today, too, because of the weather.
The turnout was extremely good here for both races, and as we told you at 6 o'clock, that usually means good news for the incumbents. Gene and Sabrina?
Generally true. Thank you very much, Woody.
Thanks, Woody. And turning now to look at some of those House races, Woody, of course, told us about the victory for Democrat Hardaway Marks. But in Chesterfield, we have a new delegate, newcomer Stephen Martin, upset incumbent Les Saunders in Chesterfield.
All right, let's go on down to South Richmond, where Frank Hall and Brad Morris were running, and we see Hall held his seat by a fairly narrow margin in that race. And in the other district, Grayson and Wright, Grayson easily the winner there in the 97th district. Well, it was a race right down to the wire in the 17th district between incumbent Edward Houck and challenger William Vakos. It looks like Ed Houck will retain his seat in the Virginia State Senate.
Rick Flo is standing by in Fredericksburg with a Live Star 12 report. Boy, Rick, there is a big celebration going on there.
I don't know if you can hear me, Sabrina. This is a very jubilant crowd here at the victory party for Senator Ed Houck. He is standing right beside me. Ed, you got to feel good tonight. How do you feel?
This is a great victory, particularly a great victory for these people who worked so hard to make this thing happen.
Now, an important point of your winning tonight was to carry Spotsylvania County and Fredericksburg. Did you think that you were going to win as big as you did in those two areas?
We felt very confident that we would do well in our home area. We've worked hard. We've knocked on a lot of doors. We've done a lot of hard work, and we felt like that we were doing well here.
Well, you got to be happy with your victory tonight. What do you attribute your success tonight?
Well, we've kept in close contact with the constituents over the last 4 years. We've done a lot of good legislative work, and I think it's just indicative that the political system is strong. The big money, the negative campaigning couldn't break through the good representation that people have been afforded here for the past 4 years.
Okay, were you worried at any time about the southern part of the district?
Well, you're always worried when you're in a political campaign, but we've spent as much time in the southern part of the district as we have here where I live. So we felt confident that people would respond, and I think the figures speak for themselves.
Well, congratulations, Senator.
Thank you.
Gene and Sabrina, we're back here at the Victory Party headquarters at Mr. B's Restaurant in Fredericksburg, Virginia, actually Spotsylvania County, where Senator Ed Houck has secured victory and will be in the Virginia Senate for at least another 4 years.
All right, Rick, say hello to all our friends in Spotsylvania County and Frederick. It looks like they're having a good time up there tonight.
Enjoy the party.
Hi, folks. All right, that's fun. Live Star 12 report from up in Fredericksburg. Let's take a break right now and go back over to Larry Sabato and talk a little bit more. And Larry, you've been around long enough. You can talk about anything you want to, but I want to come back to the lottery. You predicted early on that the thing would pass. It passed by a bigger margin than you thought a little bit, wasn't it?
It really was a lesson in democracy, Gene, because there was no statewide office holder in Virginia, past or present, who endorsed the lottery. The ministers, black and white across Virginia, came out strongly against the lottery. And yet, in the end, only the people were for it, and a very substantial majority of them, as it turned out, heavily concentrated in the urban corridor that stretches from northern Virginia through Richmond and into Tidewater.
All right, thank you very much, Larry. We're going to bounce back to you in just a moment. I understand we've got some more results we want to put up right now. Sabrina, you want to help me read these? Bond referendum, Goochland County, you're going to get the new schools. $4.5 million. I forget the figure. I may be wrong about that.
That's exactly right, $4.5 million for 3 elementary schools and a high school.
All right, that's good news for those folks that wanted the schools. Now let's go to Chesterfield County. Commonwealth's attorney's race.
Got a new CA in
Charlie
Chesterfield
Watson apparently has lost to Mr.
Billy
Davenport. Yes,
Davenport.
sir. It happened in Chesterfield County. A lot of these figures are just being finalized, and so perhaps we'll respond to them as you will, seeing them for the first time in their final form.
Gee, I believe we have a new CA in Henrico also, James Gilmore, in defeating L.A. Harris in Henrico.
Close races, all. Absolutely. And a lot of challengers are being successful tonight. Amelia County Sheriff. Both of them not, okay. Weaver defeats Brown. Let's go on to the sheriff in,
this is the...
where was I? Goochland. Now let's go to Goochland County.
Okay.
Things change fast.
John Amers in Goochland County.
Powhatan County. I hope you can read them faster than I can.
Okay, the
Reynolds is the winner. That's
right.
Easy to see.
Shirley Reynolds, the winner in Powhatan.
All right, do we have any more results? Sheriff, Powhatan County. Let's go to Supervisor. All right, here's the supervisors' racers in Chesterfield County. You can watch. You can see Curran, the Republican, the winner in that in the Bermuda district.
That's right.
Go on to the next district, Matoaka. Jesse Mays holds on his seat with a strong challenge from Mr. Bush.
Second term for Mays there.
Midlothian, Sullivan,
the winner.
Over Max Mosher. Now this race seesawed through most of the night, and it looks like it's still fairly close, but with all the votes counted, it looks like Mr. Sullivan defeats Dr. Mosher.
And of course, Sullivan is the one who was endorsed by both Jerome and Russell for that seat.
All right, we have the Brooklyn district in Henrico. Glover over Dixon. Dixon, of course, the incumbent. It looks like Glover substantially won that race. Henrico Fairfield. Don Waldrop fought off the challenge.
That's right, from Frank Thornton there.
Tuckahoe. Ray Shadwell back in by a strong margin.
Very strong. Three-way race there.
Rhino. Oh,
Close.
look at this one.
Closer.
Oh, Mr. Mayford
Pulled it off.
has a few votes. Somebody may ask for a recount. I doubt it, but that is a very close race on that. Just less than 40 votes. All right, those are the local races. We have been around the board. We have covered all of the major races around here. You have heard the winners and losers. I want to bounce back over to my friend to the left just before we break for other news. Dr. Sabato, we've talked about the lottery. We've talked about the Senate. Or do you see any other races that we've been reporting that you find some significance in? This, of course, is not the big presidential election that we have so much fun with, but a lot of decisions were made. A lot of incumbents were successfully challenged tonight.
That's right. Statewide, on the state Senate and House of Delegates, while we don't have final figures, it does appear likely that the Republicans have gained either 1 or 2 seats in the state Senate. They've gained at least 2 seats in the House of Delegates, while the Democrats remain overwhelmingly in control of both houses. These gains for the Republicans are not insubstantial, and they will certainly help to generate a little enthusiasm for a party that's been down on its luck and has lost statewide in 1985 and 1981. So it's not insignificant that they've gained in both houses of the General Assembly.
You heard the comments of Eddy Dalton a few moments ago, and she successfully sidestepped the question about Lieutenant Governor's race down the road. Do you suspect that might be in the cards?
Well, why do you suspect that? You do.
The Republicans need something desperately in 1989 for their statewide ticket. They really have a dearth of candidates right now for the statewide offices. They're reeling from 2 consecutive defeats for statewide office, and she could add a great deal to their ticket, and I think that's going to prove very attractive to many Republicans around the state.
That name recognition is a big factor.
The name recognition and the fact that she's a woman. After all, this is something the Republicans may have needed in 1985, a little pizzazz for their ticket.
Well, she was in the right district. She was in, that's a heavily Republican district where she ran out.
That's
there.
right.
Okay. We're going to other news. There was another murder in the area today.
And Ed McLaughlin will bring us up to date on that when 12 News continues. Stay with us.
John, what's a guy like you doing in the car business?
What do you mean by that?
You're such a pussycat. People must be practically stealing Toyotas from you.
I'm not that easy.
You're not, huh? What about this sale you've got on remaining 87 executive cars and demonstrators?
Well, they're all well cared for, low-mileage cars. So what?
And you're practically giving them away. Come on, admit it. You're nothing but a pussycat.
Meow.
When When delving into delicacies at your favorite eatery, it's easy to assume things were prepared in a kitchen as clean as your own. But recently, at least one area restaurant has been fined for health reasons. Come with us behind closed kitchen doors for an unannounced local restaurant inspection. How does your favorite eatery stack up? Brenda Hughes shows you how to eat, drink, and be wary in this 12 News special report, starting Wednesday at 6 o'clock on WWBT, Channel 12.
At 6 o'clock in the morning, all banks are the same, cold and impersonal. Hello! Thing is, most of them will stay that way. But at Crestar, you're a little more appreciated. People are smiling, trying to call you by name, trying to just be nicer. If you think every bank in this town is the same, you're right, but only for a few more hours.
The body of a young, unidentified white male was found alongside Interstate 95 in Hanover County this morning. The man in his early 20s had been shot in the head. Ed McLaughlin has more.
The State Police Bureau of Criminal Investigation says it's an apparent homicide. The body with a gunshot to the head was found on a service road on the west side of the interstate, just south of Ashland, by a passerby who told a nearby service station operator, who then called police.
I come in at 6 o'clock this morning. The guy in the red pickup come in here and told me he seen a guy laying on the side of the road, 95, there with blood coming from his head. So I called the state troopers, and I went up there and take a look at it, and see what, whether this guy was dead or not.
The man was dead. Police want to know how long he had been dead and if he was killed on the spot or elsewhere.
We haven't searched the subject for any identification, and we're waiting for the people to get here to process the scene.
But it's pretty obvious he didn't die of natural causes.
No, sir. It appears to be a gunshot wound.
The body could be clearly seen from I-95. How it got there and who's responsible, that's what police will now try to find out. Ed McLaughlin, Channel 12 News, Hanover County.
And police in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania are offering an $18,000 reward for information leading to a suspect responsible for the disappearance of one of their own. The car belonging to Officer Richard Bowser was found in Richmond. There is evidence in Pennsylvania of foul play. Anyone knowing anything about the case can contact police in Harrisburg or in Richmond, of course.
Reverend Jerry Falwell resigned today as president of Moral Majority, the conservative political group that he founded. Falwell says he will stay on the board of directors, but he wants to spend more time in Lynchburg with his Baptist church, his TV ministry, and his Liberty University.
It's time for Jerry Falwell to move from politics to the pulpit, and that really is where my first love is. I'm not called of God to be a politician or a businessman. I'm called to be a preacher of the gospel, and that is what I plan to do.
Falwell said he planned to cut back his political activities for more than a year, but he said his involvement at PTL and financial difficulties with his own ministry were also factors in the resignation. Falwell introduced Atlanta businessman Jerry Nims to succeed him as president of Moral Majority. Nims promised to continue Falwell's work and also to develop private programs to help the poor and deprived in America.
The Metropolitan Richmond Convention and Visitors Bureau today announced major efforts to bring more tourists to the area. Both will involve a cooperative effort between the Bureau and area businesses. One effort will be a telemarketing blitz that is expected to bring as many as 500 meetings to Richmond in the next 2 years. Another announcement was that 110 travel agents would tour the area this weekend to show off what Richmond and Williamsburg have to offer.
This is just the first in what I hope will be an ongoing series of aggressive, outwardly turned marketing efforts. That's what we do for a living. We're a sales and marketing organization, and we're looking for this to really get us off the ground.
Well, one thing we have to offer is a wide variety of weather.
Jim has a post-election forecast for us.
Yeah, nice weather coming up, but big changes as well, and I'll have all the details after this.
Well, the challenge is to make an inexpensive car that is not cheap.
Exactly.
A car that's totally reliable.
Inexpensive and fun to drive.
Inexpensive, fun to drive, totally reliable, with style.
When you get in the center, you don't feel like you're in a boxy little car. Engineering quality. That's what it is.
Yeah, right. And people are responding to this, too, because there's over 1 million of them on the road now.
Right. Can you imagine them all lined up? All our little centers?
What we're talking about, basically, is not one of these who knows where it's coming from econo-box type cars. We're talking about a real car you can get in and feel the quality.
There is tremendous consumer satisfaction in this car, and that is very satisfying.
There wouldn't be a million on the road.
And to design a car, to build a car like that, that's the greatest challenge.
You know what the challenge is? The challenge is
making my 3-year-old eat meatloaf.
Nissan, built for the most important race of all, the human race.
How many ways can you have good, clean fun with a snapper blower?
You can clean up after mowing, clear the leaves off just by blowing. It's a snap. Clean the gutters from the ground, sweep the carport all around. It's a snap. You can clean up around the pool, blow the sawdust off your tools. It's a snap with a snapper.
Available at Plantation Garden Center and at Canopy Motor Company. Distributed by Outdoor Power Equipment Company in Roanoke.
A day after election, weather
Yes,
will be
the
nice.
day after. Yeah, it's going to be near record
Ooh, great.
heat. The temperature is going to reach levels it hasn't seen in quite some time here in central Virginia. 76 degrees our high temperature today, but that is not anything compared to what we could see tomorrow. 45 degrees the low reading. Our records range from 83 in 1974, 23 the coolest in 1930. Another dry one in central Virginia. We really could use some rain, not much in the forecast though. The sun will be rising at, those figures are not right. The sun will be rising at around 6:30 tomorrow morning. Obviously the sun's not setting at 8:32. Right now in Richmond, we have 55 degrees for our temperature. Relative humidity 93% with south and southwesterly winds at 6. The barometer is falling 30.08 inches. A few thin clouds, mainly over the southern sections. Our temperature is still very mild for this time of the evening and this time of year in the 60s, low 60s and upper 50s generally. 60 degrees Charlottesville, Norfolk, as well as Bluefield. A little bit cooler out to the west in Bristol there at 52 degrees. A big satellite picture tonight. Again, we're looking at some clouds trying to roll in from the south. That coming complements of that weak tropical depression down near southern Florida, and the jet stream literally pulling in some of those clouds up into this part of the country, but not affecting us. This ridge of high pressure really in control. The clockwise circulation of winds around the high, bringing in very warm temperatures. Record heat today as far north as Chicago, Illinois, where they were 75 degrees. So it was as warm in Chicago today as it was here in Richmond, and that was only one of many records tied or broken today throughout the Midwest and the eastern part of the United States. There's that little depression I was telling you about, 150 miles southwest of Tampa, Florida. A little bit of rain, in fact, a lot of rain expected in some portions of southern Florida as this continues to just hang down there. But for us, the high is going to stay in control for the next day or so. Then that front you saw out to the west will be cooling us down starting Thursday night. Tomorrow, lots of sunshine, warm temperatures. Thursday, the front comes through, but not in time to drop our temperatures. Still quite warm and pleasant Thursday. It gets cold by Friday and Saturday. Here's my Radar Plus forecast for Richmond tonight. Looks like we'll have mostly fair conditions. Some patchy fog forming in some spots. We'll have low temperatures tonight down to about 48 degrees. Tomorrow will be mostly sunny, 83 degrees, and the record is 84, so we might even hit 84. Maybe we'll even break that record tomorrow. We'll have to see what happens. Partly cloudy tomorrow night, 52. Thursday, still mild with highs in the mid-70s, but the front will drop our temperatures into the 30s by Thursday night, highs in the mid-60s Friday, and in the upper 50s Saturday. Big changes coming in starting Thursday night, but until then, enjoy the warm temperatures tomorrow.
I vote for 84.
Okay, let's smash, demolish that record.
I think it should. Ben has been watching basketball tonight, and he's going to show us some of the best of it.
Speaking of warm temperatures, it got pretty hot inside the Civic Center tonight in Springfield, Massachusetts. We'll take a look at the Bulls-Lakers games, and after seeing Air Jordan in action, you'll believe a man can fly. Sports is next.
There's no bear like Snow Bear, and I know where to find him. There's no bear like Snow Bear for me.
And now, get this $35 Snow Bear with his new red vest for just $14 when you spend $50 or more at Tollheimer's in a single day.
There's no bear like Snow Bear for me.
And only at Tollheimer's.
Make 'em laugh, make 'em laugh. Don't you know everyone wants to laugh? My dad said be an actor, my son, but be a comical one and be sad. lines for those old honky-tonk monkey shines. Or you could study Shakespeare and be quite elite, and you could charm the critics and have nothing to eat. Just slip on a banana peel, the world's at your feet. Make 'em laugh, make 'em laugh.
Meet Geraldo.
My approach to television is a lot like my approach to life. It's physical, passionate, and involved.
Geraldo, a new approach to talk shows.
The truth doesn't always come to those who sit and wait. Sometimes you have to go out and find it.
Definitely not all talk.
Somewhere along the line, a lot of talk shows got stuck in a rut. Isn't it about time someone shook things up again?
Donahue and Geraldo, weekdays at 9 and 10 here on Channel 12.
If it's got to be a rugged midsize pickup, it's got to be a Dodge Dakota. And for a limited time, get a free automatic transmission when you choose one of our selected Dakotas equipped with popular options. That's right, get a selected Dakota 4x2 or 4x4 equipped with options like an AM/FM cassette radio, aluminum road wheels, and a V6 engine, depending on model, and you'll receive an automatic transmission free. Plus, they're all covered by our 770 protection plan. So if it's got to be a rugged midsize...
If the guy were to drop dead in Carla's own bed,